Today we are going to look at a few Pokémon cards under the microscope. I loved collecting these cards as a kid, and I was a huge Pokémon fan back then. I got the Pokémon Red version for the Game Boy as a birthday present from my parents, and that's how my love for the Pocket Monsters was born. For me personally, the first 151 Pokémon and also the first trading card sets are the most beautiful, but that is probably due to nostalgic reasons. For today's episode, I've selected a few cards from my own collection that we will take a closer look at in a moment. Some of them are really old, but there are also cards from newer sets. We will also take a look at a possible fake card. Let's see if we can spot any differences. We start with these two Charmander cards. Most of my cards are in German because, well, I'm from Germany. In my left hand I hold a Charmander card from the base set printed in 1999. It was the very first set ever printed. In my right hand I'm holding a Charmander card from the Evolution set, which was printed in 2016. Some of the old artwork from the base set was reused here. Now let's see if the printing characteristics have changed over the nearly 17 years. What you can see here is the eye of the Charmander artwork from the base set. Surely you notice that it is composed of many individual dots in 4 different colors. This is because the offset printing process is used for the cards. These dots are printed on them in several steps, and sometimes the dots overlap completely and sometimes just a little. To our eye, this creates the illusion of a mixed color, such as orange or green. The 4-color printing CMYK is used. The C stands for cyan, the M for magenta, the Y for yellow and the K for key or black. Here you can see very nicely how the orange color of Charmander skin is created from a mix of overlapping yellow and magenta dots. These dots are printed in a sort of rosette pattern, and to create shadows, a grid of black dots is printed on top, as you can see here. Now let's take a look at some other details on the card. This is the printed letter G from the word Glumanda. It looks nice and crisp. And this is the text at the bottom of the card. The date shows when the card was made, and these numbers also look very neatly printed. The yellow border on the front of the card looks like this under the microscope. The back of Pokémon cards has hardly changed in recent years. Here you can see the letter E in the word Pokémon. The rosette pattern looks even, and the outlines around the letters look sharp as well. The border around the card on the back has a distinctive blue color that seems to be printed on a bit thicker, just like the yellow border on the front. Now let's have a look at the Charmander card from the Evolution set. This is the eye of Charmander again, and it actually looks exactly like the eye from the base set card. The numbers at the bottom of the card also look super crisp. However, the yellow border on the front differs from that of the older card. Magenta dots have been mixed with the yellow color, and if you hold the two cards side by side, you can also see that the yellow border on the newer card looks much brighter than on the older one. The back looks pretty much the same. The black outline is crisp, the rosette pattern looks regular, and the distinctive blue color for the border is also present. Now let's take a look at these two cards. In my left hand, I'm holding a Rattata German base set card. In my right hand, I'm holding what appears to be the same card. The only difference is that it is the English version of it. At first glance, the cards look almost identical. But let's take a closer look at the English version of Rattata under the microscope. We start again with the eye of the artwork. The 4-color and offset printing process was used to print the card. That's good so far. But the font looks somewhat suspicious. The first letter of Rattata looks blurry, and for comparison, this is how the letter appears on the German card. It looks much sharper, just like on the other cards before. The date at the bottom of the card looks even worse. Actually, it says 1999, but under the microscope, it is absolutely illegible. This is how it looks on the German card. Totally different, right? And the yellow border on the front differs from the other base set cards as well. There shouldn't be any magenta or cyan dots in the yellow color. The writing of the word Pokémon on the back also looks totally blurred, and therefore it is obvious. This card is a fake card. Fake Pokémon cards are a big issue, because some of these old cards are worth a lot of money. So you should be very careful if you want to start collecting them. So here we have two different German Blastoise cards. In my left hand, I'm holding a Blastoise from the 1999 base set, and in my right hand, I'm holding a Blastoise from the 25th anniversary set that came out in 2021. These two cards have a holographic foil, and that makes the cards look a bit more shiny. Pokémon cards are made of several layers of paper that are glued and pressed together, and holofoil cards have an additional thin layer of metal glued in. I hope you can see it in the video, but although the two artworks are the same, the holofoils are different. Under the microscope, the holofoil from the old card looks like this. Holofoils can have different patterns. This one has little twinkling stars all over it, which is why it's called a starlight holofoil. In comparison, this is what the holofoil from the Celebration set looks like. It has more of a confetti pattern. In addition, you can see that the surface is not smooth, but has an embossed texture. I think that looks pretty cool. The next one is a so-called full art card. This VMAX Pikachu is from the Vivid Voltage set. It looks quite different from the older cards. Well, okay, except for the back, which is still the same. Again, we can see a beautifully embossed texture on the front of the card. The font is printed on in the last step, and therefore it looks incredibly crisp. However, the printing process has remained the same, which can be seen very well in the small Pikachu in the upper left corner of the card. The last card we will look at is a Charizard from the base set. It is probably the most famous of all Pokémon cards, and in my opinion, also the most beautiful. And since Charizard has been my favorite Pokémon since day one, I had to put this card under my microscope. I really hope it's not a fake one. The eye from the Charizard artwork looks alright, and the fire energy symbol looks neatly printed as well. On the beautiful Starlight holofoil, you can spot all those twinkling stars again. Fortunately, the date at the bottom of the card looks exactly as it should. So I'm pretty sure that this is not a fake card. It would have surprised me anyway because I can still remember my excitement about it when I pulled this card out of a booster pack. Granted, I spent all my pocket money on Pokémon cards back then. And did you enjoy this somewhat nostalgic adventure into the microscopic world of Pokémon cards? Have you also collected some in the past? I love looking at plants and tiny microorganisms under the microscope, but sometimes it's also fun to examine some objects or items, because you can discover so many interesting little details that you wouldn't be able to see with the naked eye. And if you want to see more of it, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you also want to follow me on Instagram, you can find the link to my page in the description. Thank you and hopefully see you next time.